Ooh, day 109. Today has been an incredible day. The entire course of Evolving Out Loud, um, our voice, uh, our ideas, our alignment with ourselves has absolutely changed today. Let me tell you about it. After meditating today, I think there was still something I was letting go of, and so was Carrie, and so was Dan, and the three of us went to breakfast today. And we were in kind of a little bit of a figuring out a few steps, and there were some steps we were going to make as a team that were scary and possibly emotional, and we were trying to figure out what just the best way to do stuff was. And we went to lunch and we just started talking about things and what we wanted to do and just figuring out and being honest with ourselves about a ton of stuff. And then at one point, hearts opened up. I mean, really, we started becoming present with each other, and honesty and heart and feeling just like what we wanted to grow and what we were wanting to do. It's hard to explain, but just true ownership and honesty and different things were coming out of us that were bringing up feelings and scary things that we were talking about and all kinds of stuff. And then this first idea came up for what our team wants to do and be. And this idea came up about how people look up Google habitually for stuff, and it's like we want to bring out a thing where our website will have more of what Google is, but internally, like have a source where we create information and content from a co-creative way, of what we want to offer for different things that we know about. Like, so you're going through depression, we have stuff on that. You're going through a breakup, you're going through addiction, all that. And we realize we want to make our site much more content friendly. And still, there's things that we offer and products and the events and stuff, but we want to make it just a place that you just feel safe going to. And it just started feeling so light, and we just started feeling so good. And we've already started and implemented all these changes. And we know how we're doing it, and we have this total plan that developed, because once that idea showed up, many other ideas showed up after that. So then in that energy, the things that we were scared to do, now that had to happen. And so we all of a sudden we changed our alignment. And one thing I'm going to tell you is we're about to make a couple hundred videos that we're going to release daily, and many of them will be answering your questions. So if you have questions, we offer that you can you're going to post it and you can hashtag Ask Kyle Cease, but we want to offer you, even if you want, you can make a video of you asking the question, and we're going to actually put it at the beginning of our video. So if you make a video asking a question you're going through, if you have a question about your career or a leap you're going to take or whatever, I never want to come across as a guru, but I do want to co-create an answer with you, because I just love looking questions in the eye and creating something with that question. So we want to offer to you the opportunity to ask a question just by going to Ask Kyle Cease. You can hashtag Ask Kyle Cease and then attach this video there. And I'm gonna watch your video, and if you have a question for us, and you don't mind, we'll put your question at the beginning of the video, and then I will make a video answering your question. And that's totally first come, first serve, as long as your question's appropriate and you're not being just crazy. But your question's like really something that, could help a lot of people and help yourself. We'll put it at the beginning of the video, and then I'll answer it. And we want to make this daily. We want to do this all the time, because we want to be the apple tree. We don't want to say, how can we get? We don't want to be in a place of going, how do we get more people? That's the worst thing to be thinking. And in any company, most people, when they're writing their blogs or whatever, they're like, how do I get more viewers? How do I get more listeners to my show? How do I get more sales? It is doom. That is mind that thinks that way. But what we like to do is just slip into our apple tree-ness and just create and let the world tell us what the results are for us. We don't chase down results. We don't like that. We like to create and just offer to the world and just be an open space that offers to the world. If we're trying to chase down one result, we actually aren't able to receive all the other results because we're so busy trying to get one thing. So if our life goal is just more followers, we might not notice when something abundant like, someone wants me to do their special podcast, or someone wants this thing, or what, you can't see it. So if you're thinking about one thing, if you think, I really want to be with this one person in a relationship, you're cutting off all these people that you can't see that are trying to come into your life because you're so reeled on life as this one thing. And so for us, we got into this crazy alignment today, and it was just the three of us, and it was Dan, Carey, and I, who are in such a zone of possibility because we moved from here. We always move from one rule. I can tell you that exists. I don't want to say rule, but one thing I know that exists. If you want to really move quick, first of all, you got to be moving from here. You got to be moving from a place of what's going to benefit the world most, not what's going to benefit me most. I think a lot of times we separate ourselves when we're going, well, did I get this much money, or do I stand out, or do I get the most fame for this, or whatever. But if you're in a thing where you're the space of the whole and you're thinking, what does the world want to come out of this group right now? You stay an open heart the whole time. All these possibilities show up. So Dan and Carey and I sat there, and then it was just like 3 hours of new idea here, revamp the computer this way, do this thing. And then we started, then this thing about our event called the Flow Groups came out. We do this thing called Flow Group. And what Flow Group is where we, once a month, this is the main way where you can work with me or the team one-on-one or in a small group. This is really it. Once a month, we work with 4 people. And it's really, really incredible. They spend 2 days working with us. We show up, we get an Airbnb in Woodland Hills, big, beautiful place. And then we chill somewhat outside, somewhat inside, and we start the process of hearing where you are and hearing what you want for the world, what you want to bring to the world, what you feel this calling is in you, what you're scared of, what you need to let go of. And a lot of times what you discover within the first hour of talking to us is that I can start to see this limited belief that you have. This thing was like, well, I got to get it perfect or whatever. And I can say something, and we start to notice that you have been working from a place of a belief that you are in lack. And the first few hours is us just undoing those beliefs until you actually realize that that's a lie, that you don't need to ambitiously get somewhere. And I start finding, and we start listening and talking, and I just kind of unscrew these little things. It feels weird to say this, but this is what Flow Group is. So what happens then is, now that you realize that belief's not true, and that's always what happens at the Flow Group, is that now you access this new place in you where you move from this how, because you're only in a how if you think you're in a place of lack. If you think that you're not enough, if you're holding on to a belief, then you start to go how, because how says, how do we fix this problem? How do we get somewhere else versus accepting where we are? And instead, what happens is by the end of day 1, you move to a why. And because it's like we just struck oil in your heart, and your heart is going to bring all these creations out that you didn't know were in you because you were so locked in your mind because you were stuck in a belief. So when you undo that, then this how comes out, or this why comes out. And that's when you start to give your gift because you have to, because you are feeling called to it, because it's like the most important thing in the world. And we start to unlock that in people by the end of day 1. Then we have stuff for them to do overnight and into the next morning and different things to really pull that why out even more. And then now that the floodgates are open, by day 2, everyone in the room has all these new ideas that just showed up because they were receptive, they weren't disqualifying the ideas, and they end up moving to this other place. Now, if you go in here with anxiety or addictions or all these things, often those things start to go away on their own because you're so excited about all the new callings that are showing up in you. So on day 2, you're just this rush of just infinite ideas. And that's when we start to bring in the how. Now that your why is what runs you, now we bring in the how as a secondary thing to help hone and harness this amazing gift that you have. Now we start to go, okay, well, how do we make this into something? And what we do is I help you develop this into something absolutely easy, monetizable, and then we give you an exercise to do for the next 30 days. We check on you after 30 days. We check on you after 60 days. We check on you after 90 days. And we create a measurable, tangible, life-changing, tangible, not tangible, life-changing experience. It is amazing. And when people work with us for 2 days in such an intimate setting, you basically change courses in your life. So we realized, we then tonight watched this documentary on Muscle Shoals, which is this place in Alabama where the greatest music started coming out. And it was about how this vortex of energy or whatever just is this space where crazy Aretha Franklin hits and Wilson Pickett hits all came from. And it was this amazing story. And I realized, like, there was so much that resonated for me, because we love to find the people that know that they have something great in them and are ready to find it and are ready to have it pulled out of them. I know for a fact, I know it. Every single human being has the potential to have a Martin Luther King-esque life-changing legacy. Not that everybody has to be, but I know that everybody can be. The problem is most people don't believe that they can be. So what usually happens for me is I'm like, you're infinite, and then someone will go, that's crazy talk. And I'm like, okay, so you don't believe you are, and I believe you are, and that's fine. And I'm not here to prove that to anybody. So our team started realizing tonight, we are more fascinated by the people who are ready for that, who know that there's a legend story that they could end up bringing to the world, that know that there's something about them, that there's a calling in them, but they haven't felt supported in it. They don't feel the permission in it. They're scared to say what their greatness is because, the people around them or their parents might have said something like, it's not that easy and life's not that good, and you start to shoot yourself down and you start to get scared to bring it out. But you have this secret or it's established or whatever, but there's a greatness in you. And I want to find the people that have in them the same feeling that the dude in this documentary, when he saw Aretha Franklin the first time, was like, okay, like, it's a matter of, do you believe that you have that? And I'm not here to convince anyone of it. I'm here to talk to the people who go, I got something in me. You can still be at a level of like, I'm scared shitless about it. I don't know what it is, but I have this calling in me. So our team started talking about, that's our new thing. We're going to work once a month with 4 people that know that they have this true greatness in them. And I got so excited about it because I just want to help these people that are ready to bring out their story, this legend story, help them find the legend in them and like pull it out of them even just as fast, if not faster than they can, because that's what I love to do. It's like my calling to see this greatness in someone. And then my computer just totally died in the middle of that recording. I think it's time to buy a new computer. But what I was going to say is, it's my calling to see that greatness in someone and pull it out of them. And one thing I've discovered is that everyone has a billion things that they're great at. They just disqualify themselves from realizing that could be something that they do. So like, if you just gossip all day, if you're like, well, I don't do anything, I just talk about people all day. Okay, you could be on E-entertainment. You could be like, I haven't done anything, just me and my spouse just hang out at the house for the last 10 years and you could write a book on how to have a good relationship. You could be like, oh, well, I've been breaking up with people left and right. I don't have a good relationship. You could be writing a book on how to break up or how to let go or how to bounce back. There's an infinite amount of things that every single human being has in them that they don't understand is a gift. Even if it's just I complain all day, like, it doesn't matter. It's accepting you. It's learning to accept the things about you and not trying to find your purpose as this external thing that you've qualified in your mind. It's qualifying what you are now and understanding that there's a gift that you have. So we're going to start working with people that really want it, that are really ready to own it, and we are, are just here to go, who wants it, who's ready to show up and do that, and wants to co-create. And as the people do that, we always end up working with them way beyond the 2 days. The people that make those leaps, very often, if they do the work and create the alignment, they end up speaking on our stage, or I endorse them, or we put them in our sketches if they're like an actor or whatever. There's so many things. So the sky's the limit when people take those leaps. And we just saw ourselves differently today. And we saw this new potential of the different things we want to do. And the different ideas led to other ideas. So we're like, oh, we could do this thing for high schools, and we're doing this thing for colleges now. And I felt like today was like a total realignment, not only internally in my body, but of our entire purpose. And 2016 just got so much more special because we're just going to give our gift in a totally new, different way. So I'll tell you, man, if you got people that are in a high heart alignment, get with them only, and spend some time just uninterrupted, just sitting and feeling through your bullshit, because eventually it will have to come out on the side of your infinite truth if that's the place you now live. And when you're in your butterfly and you start talking to someone else who's in their butterfly, it's great. If you're in your butterfly and you talk to someone who's in their caterpillar, you have to start to think like the caterpillar, and you start to lose your gift and you feel stressed out of your mind. So if you're watching this and you're in your butterfly and you're interested in doing flow group, please talk to us at info@kylecease.com, and we'll talk to you about how to do that. But that's just a side thing. My point is that I am so excited and so revved, and so everything was from my highest calling today, and it was very effortless, and none of it was go out and get this. It was much more be this, bring this to the world, present this. And those other rewards that ego is always looking for, they'll show up, and you won't even care because you'll be so much more excited about presenting the gift. So today was one of the best days ever. One of the best days ever. Amazing. Day 109.